The final seconds. Center Grove is state champion.
Amber Harris again, and she continues to roll.
Well, Phillips is a very good player and extremely intelligent.
For a national title, and the shot is good! And Ben Davis comes away with a 71-69 win.
Lawrence North is gonna win it!
Hello, folks. Josh Ayen with the MIC Network, ready to break down the fourth and final region in the Champion of Champions Girls Basketball Tournament. First off, let's introduce our panel for this region. Of course, we've got Darrell Morton Jr., as always, joining us. We've also got the former and now, once again, current head coach for the Ben Davis Lady Giants in Coach Stan Benge. He coached the team to 4 state titles previously. We've also got 2 members of the North Central women's basketball coaching staff joining us, and DeeAnn Ramey, the head coach, and assistant coach Kendall Kreinhagen, who also coached the Rebuff Braves to state titles in 2004 and 2007. And last but not least, we'd like to welcome back to Shia Phillips. She was a member of the 2004 and 2007 Rebuff state title teams. She went on to play collegiately at Xavier University and was even drafted in the WNBA in 2011. Folks, thanks again for joining us. Let's get to it. We are now down to the final region, the Northwest region, where our number 1 seed in this region is a Heritage Christian team from 2009, the team that capped off an impressive, unprecedented FOUR-peat run, and they finished with a 27-1 record. They're taking on the winner of a 4-5 matchup between 1980 Southport and 2015 Heritage Christian. And finally, in the bottom half of this bracket, you've got the 2 seed 2000 Ben Davis Giants, who get a first-round bye as well. They are taking on the 3-6 winner between 2014 Heritage Christian and 2013 Mount Vernon. Guys, thanks again for joining us. What are your thoughts on the Northwest region?
Well, let's see who can break down the 1980 Southport team. Who can do that?
Well, I do remember watching them play. I mean, Amy Matheny was on that team. Linda Mallender. That was a fun team to watch play. They were at the beginning of girls basketball. It was a good basketball team. They won a close game, that state championship.
I'll tell you what, we talked about this a little bit last night. That was back before class basketball, and that was 2-a-days. And so I imagine that it's probably a little tougher to go out there in the morning and get a win, which they did against Marion, to come back in the afternoon to go to overtime to win the state championship. So that had to be pretty tough. But I tell you what, like you talked about, Amy, they also had Linda Mallender on that team, and Laura Krieger, and at guard, Missy Heidel. They had a pretty solid team. I actually did go back and watch a little bit of that game. So, like I said, a really fun bunch to watch. But again, talking about them versus that 2016 Heritage Christian team, that's a tough sell, I would imagine, for anyone, I guess.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that 2016 Heritage Christian team was awfully talented. Would they have 561 players on that team?
I mean, the biggest name that comes to mind is Ty Harris. I mean, she just got drafted by the Dallas Wings just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that like I said, that would pose that's a problem. That Heritage Christian, like I said, the dynasty that they had going over there, it's just unbelievable. So that takes us down to the 3-6 matchup, 2014 Heritage Christian and 2013 Mount Vernon. Let's talk about the Mount Vernon basketball team there, 23-4. How would they fare against this Heritage Christian bunch?
I'll tell you, I remember watching them play. Coach Ramey, I think they were on the schedule. Well, they've always been on the schedule for North Central, I think, for a while. And I remember watching them play. And she, I think, took one step across half court and just naturally shot the 3, and it went in. I was like, holy cow. Yeah. But to watch her play and to watch her lead that team, I mean, she was a tough-nosed player that carried a lot of that team on her back that year. And just by having a coach like Julie and as tough-minded as she is, there's not a day off if you're going to play for her. And they're always very prepared when you play against them. We used to play against, when I was at Rebuff, they were in our regional every year. And so we played against them, and her teams were always well prepared. But they were led by Shelton that year, Sydney Shelton, and she was tough.
Yeah, you definitely had to stop her. You were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the number 2 there, that's 2000 Ben Davis, of course. That's Eli again, you know, so that's going to be a problem for the winner of that game there. But again, if it were to be Heritage Christian versus, you know, the number 2 seed Ben Davis, that would be a tremendous matchup as well. A lot of firepower, both squads there.
That's the first state championship for Ben Davis at 28-0 So not only have Shira and Ashley as juniors, Sarah Strom was on there as a senior. So that was a good team.
Yeah.
I was about to say, not only the athleticism of that year, I remember watching that because I actually played on the same travel ball team as Shira and Ashley. So growing up under them from the time that I was 9, you know, I'm obviously going to go to that game. But those players happen to be not just athletic, but they had size, they had strength, they had skill. I think a different combination of what you would have than at Heritage Christian. So I think it would have been maybe close to start, but with that sort of, you know, matchup, that ability, that size, that skill, that speed, plus the knowledge, I think it would have been a bit of a pull away toward the end. But that's just me. Coach, you coached them. You let me know what you think.
I mean, they were awfully good. I mean, probably the only weakness, there wasn't a lot of depth on that team. You go past 7 players, but I mean, the top 5 could compete with anybody.
And then you look at the number 1 seed. You know, we just talked about a great team at number 2. Of course, we're back to Heritage Christian at number 1, 27-1. That, I mean, you know, what more can you say about Heritage Christian? I mean,
well, that was the year that we won the national championship, I think, at Ben Davis, the 2009. And we never played Heritage Christian, but the common opponent was Bolingbrook of Illinois. And Heritage Christian got beat at Heritage Christian, and we beat them over in Illinois. So that's sort of why we were able to, one of the reasons we were put in a position that we could win the national championship.
So it sounds like, Coach, you'd have beat them anyway, like you played them then, right?
Yeah, we didn't play them. They probably wish we could have played each other, but.
All righty, Josh. Fans are going to be able to vote these teams through.
Yes, sir. Well, fans, time to turn it over to you once again. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Twitter and Instagram, you got Mick Network Ayen. That is Mick Network Ayen. Polls will be open for 48 hours, as well as on our Facebook page. You can vote there as well. Comment or vote on our Facebook story, and we look forward to seeing who advances to the next round of the Champion of Champions tournament.